back here on 970 WFLA. Want to talk next, zombie houses. There was an article in the Tampa Bay Times on Friday. A lot of people don't know what a zombie house is, but a zombie house is basically the slang for a vacant foreclosure that's been abandoned for a long time. And there's still a lot of them out there. Banks are slowly but surely getting to them, but certainly, it does still cause problems in certain neighborhoods. But it's a sign of what we've been through. The zombie houses are kind of what's left, the remnants of the catastrophic, real estate market we had a few years ago. And it's, to be honest, if that's the worst of what we're dealing with, I don't really mind it too much, because there's not that many of them. But that's the sign, it's, hey, look, you drive through a neighborhood, you see some of those. It's a reminder of what we came through and what we've been through. And now, fortunately, our real estate market is humming along, doing great, prices are rising.
Right.
But in that, because of all those challenges we had in the market, because of the crash, now we've got this hidden audience of people that did short sales, that got foreclosed on, that have now recovered. And it sounds like, we're having a hard time finding homes for those people because of the qualifications that are in place with lenders now.
Yeah, you have to wait now. There's depending on whether you go FHA or conventional, there is a waiting period. FHA is obviously more lenient on a short sale or foreclosure. It's 2 years on a short sale and 2 years on a bankruptcy, 3 years on a foreclosure. On a conventional loan, if you go above 271 on a loan amount, then you have to go with a regular conventional loan, and those are actually 4 years on a foreclosure, and so that's 4 years with extenuating circumstance, 7 years on a foreclosure, 4 years on a short sale. Now you can get it for 2 years on a short sale, and see the thing is, they talk about investing. Leading indicators and one of the leading indicators right now is that there's not a lot of short sales going on.
Right, there's not very many.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine this past week from another market, named Jesse. Jesse went through a pretty traumatic life experience. Had a spouse pass away. This is somebody that we know in our sphere of influence, and lost her job, went through all kinds of traumatic stuff, lost the house, just everything bad that could have happened when the market crashed. And a lot of people forget, these are people, they have needs, there's challenges and struggles they go through. But the thing I thought that was impactful was, now Jesse's recovered. Jesse's got a great job, 2 kids, wants to put them in a great house, but can't. And part of the obstacle with the waiting period is that the waiting period, I think, is dictated by the date, the sale date, or the date. Some of those foreclosures and short sales took 2 and 3 years.
Right.
So in reality, by the end of it, sometimes people had started to recover. Now they couldn't catch up the $100,000 that they were past due, because at that point it didn't make sense. But in reality, it just seems to me that the waiting period almost should be from the point in which they got so many months behind, not the point in which the bank took the property back, because it's really harming people that realistically have been recovered for 4 years.
Right.
But it's looked at as 2.
Right. But not that, I don't know if this helps or not, but there's a new guideline with Fannie Mae. That would be a conventional loan, where if you filed bankruptcy and you included the house in the bankruptcy, yet the foreclosure happened after the bankruptcy. It used to be you start the waiting period from the date of the foreclosure, but now you go back to the start of the date of the discharge of the bankruptcy.
So there's an important thing for people to think about as a
Right.
recovery.
Right.
And again, it's not as common out there now, but if you are someone who's thinking about the recovery and going through this now, then certainly talk to an attorney. We're not attorneys, we're not giving legal advice. We're only telling you what
The
it would
guidelines
take
are.
to
I can
qualify
show you the
for
guidelines,
you.
right.
Yeah. And it stinks because there's a lot of good people out there. At the same time, I'm also not of the opinion that everybody should be a homeowner, and certainly there's people that have to be kind of punished for what they went through, and they got to wait and rebuild their situation. But the timelines sometimes just don't make sense, because there are people who their foreclosure took 3 or 4 years to finally happen, and then they have to, it just, that doesn't make sense to me, because somebody could be 6 years recovered. It's 6 years since they started missing their payments, and we're still penalizing them for it. Now they got a great paying job. They'd be a great borrower, but they're looked at as like the scarlet letter. They're not going to get a loan.
There is a thing called extenuating circumstances out there, that there would be less of a waiting period, but those are usually like death of the primary wage earner,
military type related things.
military type related things, medical situation.
Few and far between getting that through.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, a divorce is not. It's
not.
These, no, it's not. I mean, it is to people who've
It
been
should
divorced.
be, right?
Yeah.
It should be,
Right,
but it's not.
It's not yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of people that went through that too, because
Yeah.
you know we know. I mean, housing and finances and money are one of the big causes of that.
Exactly.
So we know a lot of people are divorced through that. So we're going to be back. We've got tips for home buyers, tips for home sellers. We've still got our smoking hot deals coming up. And if you tweet us at the Duncan Duo, mention Squirrel and Burgers and Bar, we've got some awesome cards for our listeners out there, which I believe are $10 discounts at Squirrel and Burgers and Bar. And we'll be back after a quick break here on the Duncan Duo Show.